Hey y'all, welcome back to another Girl Talk. It's your girl Chi. I am trying my hardest to give it to you guys today. The energy, I know it's like, but I'm called to show up. So I'm showing up. Showing up as I am, showing up the best way I know how to. And we're gonna get it rocking. To be honest, I've been really trying to figure out like what am I gonna talk about today? What am I going to process? What is the topic? What's the message? And I think that right now I need to just talk about where I'm at. Like, this season has been a very interesting season because I have been dealing with a lot of different things all at once. I've been dealing with joy, I've been dealing with growth, I've been dealing with, all the like positive things happening in my world while simultaneously dealing with a lot of grief and a lot of loss and a lot of pain. And it's interesting for me because I'm used to either being in a very high season, very, just enjoying living my best life, or I'm just down in the dumps, depressed, in a dark season, just grieving. So being in a place where both are simultaneously happening at the same time, it's different. It's interesting because it's like, it's keeping me humble where I'm not too high and mighty, but it's also not taking me out. And so I've been actually I've been embracing this place. I feel like it could be a lot worse, and of course things could be better, but I am appreciating what I feel like God is doing inside of me in this season. Oh man, the lessons I've been learning, child. The friendships that I've been in, relationships I've been in, dealing with work, dealing with balancing all of the things, being an adult. Being an adult, that's crazy. Um, Having to balance all of the things, adulting, having to show up for myself, having to show up for my friends, having to show up for family, having to be responsible, doing the things that I need to do to take care of myself, going to the gym, handling my responsibilities, spending time with God, developing my relationship with the Lord, spending time with my people, taking care of myself, like all the things. And while also being worked on the inside, having to like be challenged in my character, being tested in, who I say that I am, being tested in areas where like my flesh, oh my flesh, baby, my flesh wants a thing, but my spirit knows what it deserves. And that's been tough. Like, oh man, I'm just having to like really sit in knowing that I'm making decisions based off the work that I've done within myself. I'm making decisions based off of the standard that I set for myself. I'm making decisions based off of knowing my worth, loving myself, all of that. And nobody talks about the grief that comes with standing on business. Nobody talks about the pain that comes with actually standing on your boundaries. No one talks about the sadness that comes with having to tell people no. Like, you think that, oh, you set your boundaries, you say no, you stand on business, and you think that you say all that and people will still love you the same or still respect you or still be in your life, or like things will be like how it's always been. But it's not. Some people actually fall off. Some people stop talking to you. Some people distance themselves from you. Some people just switch up. Some people like bounce out your life because they're not able to get what they used to get when you didn't have boundaries, or when you didn't communicate what it is that you stand on. They were able to benefit from you not having boundaries. They were able to benefit from you being you know, an easygoing person or allowing whatever to happen. But until you start setting boundaries now, oh, they go ghost. Or they switch up. Or they don't take responsibility. And I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. Like having to deal with that. And it's like, you know, that's expected. You know, I think we have to expect that with setting boundaries, we will lose people. Certain people won't come around as often. Some people won't take accountability for the shit that they do. But I think we forget to have the conversation about the pain and the grief that comes with having to lose particular people that you actually did want in your life. Or, you know, particular people that you had hope in. So what I've been learning in this particular place is that the grief that I'm experiencing is okay. I have matured so much when it comes to processing grief. I don't take on this like victimhood stance anymore. I don't take on this, oh, woe is me, and you know, I feel sorry for myself and why me. Like, I've retired that mentality because I know that God is doing a deeper work within me when it comes to experiencing grief and pain. And I have a couple of videos where I talk about this purpose in your pain, this, that, and the third. But yeah, like, I really do believe God has elevated me from this surface level of sitting in grief into a more deeper experience with my grief, trying to learn whatever lessons and obtain whatever wisdom he has for me, knowing that there is some glory that comes on the other side, and it's not just for me, but it's for the people that I walk with, and having peace in that, you know, having peace in the fact that, you know, with growth, with elevation, that comes with some separation, that comes with, you know, a pruning, that comes with people falling off, that comes with the releasing of dead weight. And that's okay. It sucks though. It's like, it's a death. It's a death in its own way. And that's what's grieving. And also, you know, grieving like what you thought certain people were. That's another grief. That's another pain. Like, you had a certain type of perspective of someone in your life, and you forever hoped that that was truly who they were until you set up a boundary or you confronted them about something, and you did it in a loving way. It wasn't like you was trying to like come at them or do anything kind of crazy, and they switch up. It just makes you question, like, who was you really? Like, who really were you? Like, it's giving a Judas. You know what I'm saying? But let me not get too into it, because I don't know who be watching my shit and start, you know, evil eyeing me. Yeah, that's not for it. Yeah, it's just it's fucked up. Or like, you know, people that you really had high hopes for, and because you set a boundary and you still want to be in a relationship with these people, but they couldn't handle what you presented as your boundary, so they bounced. And it sucks. It's sad because it's like, damn, I had plans for us, and you just gonna switch up. Hard. So that's one lesson. I feel like there's so many lessons I've been learning. I'm learning that it is okay. This is part of the process. This is part of life. You lose people, but you gain some too. And I know that I'm in a season where there are some people that have to fall off that I didn't expect, because God is not only making room for new people to come, but making room just for whatever he got going on for me. So it may not even be that he's making room for more people to come. He could just be making room just to be making room, because he needs to be in the room. God could be making room, not to just occupy it with other people, but so he can occupy it. That's a word. Okay, that's a word. Another thing I've been learning about is just tapping back into my energy, especially with all the like grief and stuff I've been dealing with and having to walk through. I feel that simultaneously in this grief, God has been calling me to retreat, to return back to Him, to return back to myself, to pour back into me, which I feel like I've kind of already been in this space, but I feel that He's calling me to a higher level, and I'm here for it. You know, I love already like being able to spend time with God and read books and listen to messages and learn more about Him. But like there's like a new level that He's calling me to. And I'm excited, I'm curious. I really feel like when you go through a season of loss and grief, especially when you experience it from a really hurtful place, this is the time to like really just tap back into your energy. Like this is the time to, okay, you know what, let's re-up on my self-love. Let's get back into this like groove of having a routine and discipline with going after my goals. So like I'm being more intentional with my calendar, being more intentional with setting things on the schedule for the things that I want to do, instead of being mindless or instead of being just kind of all over the place with all the things. Like I have to be intentional. So I know I have 10 different things that I got to do. Okay, let's put a time to it. So I grab 3 of those things and I make sure to put it on Monday. And I grab the next 3 of those things, put it on Tuesday, and give it a time and be specific and break it down. Like really just tapping back into me and my energy, so that way I'm not swallowed up by grief. Again, I do have a perspective and an understanding of the grief that I'm experiencing and walking through. And I'm still human. And so it will bring me down sometimes whenever I'm a little bit too into the grief, or when I'm sitting into it a little bit longer than I should be. So I have to busy myself, right? So I think that's what I'm trying to say. So as I'm experiencing grief, as I am walking through grief, I am also learning that I need to pour back into myself. I need to focus my energy and my time on things that are beneficial for me and my growth and my healing. And healing is a vital, important part of the grieving process. I really feel like I would love to talk about the grieving process, like the stages of grief. So I'm gonna probably make another video on that. The healing process for me looks like going to the gym, eating healthy and clean, which I've been doing that. Tapping into my hobbies like roller skating, dancing, writing music and poetry, spending time with my homegirls, going to brunch, getting my hair done, my nails done, getting cute, window shopping, like tapping back into me. Another way I like to like walk through my healing journey is I love writing, journaling, processing all of my feelings through written word and also through spoken word. So that's why I love girl talks. Girl talks are so healing for me. Being able to just process the things that I've been walking through out loud has been just like everything for me. The healing journey also looks like seeing a therapist. Okay, yes, your girl who's a therapist has her own therapist too, and I truly believe the best therapists are those that have their own therapist. There's no way you can be doing this type of heavy work and you don't have your own therapist. No way. You know, just tapping back into me, like focusing on my dreams. I've been focusing on my dreams, being more disciplined and committed to showing up for myself, because I feel like I've been struggling with focusing. I've been struggling with like, not even, well, yes, focusing, and I've also been struggling with consistency and like being committed in other areas, not in all the things, but in some areas that you guys aren't aware of. But it's all because I really didn't have like any aim. I was kind of aimless. I had all the things, but I wasn't really like precise in how I was like showing up for all the things. And so I had to like kind of get clear with that. And I really want to speak on this. I'm gonna make a whole nother video on that. But yeah, I just really like tapping back, pulling my energy back to myself, because grieving is such a tricky place to be in, especially when you're simultaneously experiencing joy. So it's like, yeah, what does this look like? How do I navigate this? How do I, you know, experience the joy without allowing the grief to overtake it? How do I acknowledge grief is here with me and still simultaneously do what I need to do? And I really, I want to say I enjoy it, even though it's weird to say, because it's like nobody enjoys grieving. Look, it's not the greatest experience in the world, but I think what I'm enjoying is just being able to walk through this process and learn about myself even more through this process. I feel like God is doing the work in me. I feel like I'm just becoming more and more the woman that I've envisioned myself to become. And yeah, I feel like there's just so much. So I think I'm gonna stop this. Oh, and there goes my battery. So I'm gonna stop this and let y'all sit with whatever comes out of it. I feel like I'm all over the place anyway. There's so much I would love to talk about, so I'm gonna record another video and elaborate more on some other things I've been learning. But in the meantime, I hope this message blesses you, and take care. See you in the next video.